Very happy to have. So we'll do it again, but at the end it'll be really live. Okay? No, not now. Very nice. Thank you. Chin chin. Santé. Yes. Okay. So we are in Paris for the second time of the summer, with a very nice evening coming up. Xavier will present the evening for you. So you are connected on the internet somewhere in the world. You're watching us. It's quite a warm evening here. A lot of people ready to look at this nice presentation tonight. So thank you, Xavier, to be with us. You are at the head of ECV in Paris, a school for communication design. And you are a sponsor of TypeParis, so welcome.
Thank you. Wow. It works. Well, first of all, thank you, Jean-François. And thank you, Véronique, as well. I wanted to say that. It's a privilege to be part of TypeParis 17. And it's very exciting to immerse myself again, once more, in the world of typography and graphic design. As Jean-François said, I'm the Dean of ECV, schools and creative schools and community in Paris. And as you can believe, typography is considered as one of the foundation element of our curriculum. I'm not going to talk a lot because it's not about me. Tonight, I would like to start to introduce our first speaker. She lives and works in Paris. Glasses. Yes. Yeah, she does live and works in Paris. Before becoming an independent art director, she was a dancer and choreographer. She founded her studio in 2004, specializing in publishing and visual identity in the fields of design, photography, contemporary art, and performing arts. She collaborates with numerous museums and publishing houses in France and abroad, such as le Musée des Arts Décoratifs, le BAL, la Fondation Cartier, MEP, Palais des Beaux-Arts, MUSEM à Marseille, and many more. She also develops 3D graphic work in the form of exhibition signage in collaboration with architects, scenographers, and curators. Since 2015, she has been the art director of 2 publications, La Revue du Crieur and the albums Sans photo pour la liberté de la presse. And in 2008, as you can see, it's a quite furnished career. In 2008, the studio was awarded le prix Les Plus Beaux Livres Français for Topologie de l'Invisible about the choreographer Angelin Preljocage. Hey. And that's live. In July 2016, she won the Philaf d'Or for the book Avant l'Avant-Garde, created in partnership with Clément Chiroux, ex-curator of photography at the Centre Pompidou. She was able to find her unique visual language while working with a wide range of subjects, as you can see, such as jazz, contemporary, dance, French music, war, babar, food, and many, many more. Without further ado, it's my great pleasure to introduce you to Agnès Dahan.
Thank you. Hello. Good evening. Sorry. Sorry for the start. Jean-François, could you where are you? No, I'm cool. Ouais. There is a problem. So, technical problem to force. J'ai fait tomber ça, c'est peut-être ça qui... Non, c'est bon? Ok. Hein? Mais sinon, je fais quoi? Comme ça? Ouais. Ok, ok. So, good evening. Thank you to be there. So, thank you to Jean-François to invite me tonight. So, I'm artistic director. I founded my studio in 2004. Raphaël Piquet, that you can see over there, who I met at Olivier de Serres during his diploma jury of the SRA, joined the studio in 2007, and we have been working together ever since. We also have other regular collaborators, Perrine Serre over there, Corentin Perichot, Tom Bucher. Most of our works is in the cultural domain. We work for museum, for art school, and for publishing houses. We mainly produce books and exhibition catalogs, but in the recent year we are doing more and more exhibition signage and visual identity. We constantly try to re-question our practice without any systematism in our production. So if I have to explain, to start in few words our way of work, I can say in one hand, hello, sorry, it was my first slide. So on one hand, when I start a new project, I try to immerse myself deeply into the subject, and if the subject is an artist, if he is alive, I try to spend time with him and just to capture his sensibility, understand who he is, and all the things that can inspire me after into my graphical production. So, in another hand, I gather different talents and specialists in adjoining fields. I speak about production manager of publishing houses, paper companies, and printer, screen printer, and I submit them my intuition, my first idea, my hypothesis, and they tell me what is possible, what is impossible, and this is how I create the condition of my creation. Each project that is produced in the studio is definitely a teamwork, and it's important to me to say that tonight because I want to counterbalance the idea of the all-powerful creator that the term art director implies. And for the student in this assembly tonight, or I have desire, I feel inspired, but I could never do what I do alone. And to finish this introduction, I would like to come back to a quote that Annick Emery, the journalist Annick Emery, highlight in an interview we made in Intramuros, and I said I never tried to make an author's design, and this sentence means that I do not terrorize my practice before exercising it. It's not a work, it is the work and the way I envisage it that create an aesthetic in my work. And this aesthetic has certainly taken a long time to develop, but I believe that it becomes legible little by little. So I will sequence my talk by the major topics of my work through around 10 projects of my most important work. So, first, dance. I have, as you said just before, I've always been interested in dance and performing art, and during and after an internship with Boris Charmars, currently director of the Museum of Dance in Rennes. He trusted me to design his first book, and also convinced the Centre National de la Danse in Pantin to trust me to do it with me. And I was not a graphic designer at this moment, but I took the project to earth, and it launched my career of graphic design. I would like to show you a sample of the different books I have made in this field of performing art, because I will not have time to speak about all of this book, of course. And performing arts is an area that will always be important for the studio, and I have regularly the opportunity to work on monographs of people in the world of performing art. So the second project I would like to present, and which is very important, is the project with Angelin Preljocage, named Topologie de l'Invisible. Thanks to the previous project I have done in the field of dance between 2003 and 2008, because I was contacted by a Naive Edition to do this book. And I won a prize, the prize of the plus beau livre français, with this book. And this was a turning point in my, for me, crystallizing my love for dance and for book. This book contains several topics. It's a book about 3 pieces of the choreographer. It's about his artistic collaboration. It's about the history of choreographic writing. So the content is very, very complex, and it was very strange because contrary to I said previously in introduction, it is perhaps the only one, but it is a book where I didn't have a relation with the choreographer, with the artist. I saw Angelin Preljocage only one time during this project. I was very free. It was very strange, but and because my knowledge in the choreographic field, Naive gave me a lot of freedom with the structure and the organization of the content. So, so the project was immediately validated by Angelin. I present to him my project, a paper model with different color, different size, etc. And it was very strange for me because it is a project very different. It's how can I say that? The graphic identity of the center choreography of Angelin Paljocage is based on black color. The center choreographic is called Pavillon Noir. It's built by Rudy Ricciotti, and it's black, and all the visual communication is black too. And I proposed to him a project with a lot of color, a lot of very, very in the opposite of his universe. But I will explain you why I do that. But Angelin was very enthusiastic by the project, so it was perfect. And to speak about the design and the approach, it's based on three main concerns: the movement, space, and colors. For movement, the question of movement into a book was a big question for me. And in collaboration with Aki Kuroda, who is one of Angelin's current collaborators, we design a plexiglass box with a special texture, and that brings to life the title when the book is taken out the box or put into. So for this first point, we conceive this box, and to respond to this question of the movement and how to give movement to a book. And the second point is space. I approach the book as a space in itself, as a kind of performances. There are different sizes of pages and leaflets within the book that allow the reader to wander around and zoom on certain space. It is like a system of Russian dolls. I realized how the dramaturgy was important when you design a book. And that at that moment, I understood the huge possibilities of creation in the graphic design of a book. I was interested to give desired, to turn the page, to surprise the reader, to incite him to read, and other type of contemplation. And to finish with the color, because the very large content and the complexity of the content I exposed you previously, I use bright color to structure, to rhythm, and to give a certain architecture to the book. As well as to highlight the notion of art and craft that you can find in his scenography on stage. So after dance, I would like to speak about archiving. So I invented some terms with the help of a friend. So archiving, I don't know if it's very English, but what I mean by archiving, it's the process to show and the manners to present and restitute archives in a book. And by archives, I mean manuscripts of writers, of poets, of singers, all original documents. I understood that the materiality of the archive, its paper, its color, its typography, its support is also important than the content itself. Therefore, the objective for me in this kind of project is to respect the document and to let it be seen in a way that it's as close as possible to what it is. So the first project I would like to show you is a project I made with Edition Textuelle, and it's about this book presents two collection of poems of the poet Verlaine. And my project was to make this book a magnificent setting for poetry. I designed a cover with a sexual connotation. I drew a form between the pubis and a pen. And using red and black colors to recall erotic contents of the poems. And in this book, I show you a few, some zoom, and you can see the different part of the book and the structure. I choose an offset paper as close as possible to that of the original paper, and I choose to isolate the facsimile of the two collections of poems in a central notebooks. And so, just to say, I bring some of my book here over there, and if you want to see and to have a look after, you can, but thank you. Okay, sometimes it's more simple to see and to manipulate. So I choose to isolate the facsimile of these two collections in a central notebooks, the white one in the center, where nothing would come to interfere with its reading. Neither the folio, no title, no legend. It's totally free of information except of the manuscript. I decided to simplify and compartmentalize the content to highlight the work, and I would like that the people understand immediately the content and the structure in 3 segments: an introduction, the manuscript, and after a part for the analysis and of the poem. So I will speak very quickly about another book about another poet, Jacques Prévert, and I think this project is important for me too. I made it in 2012 with Textuelle too. This book presenting archival document. It is about illustrated scenario by the poet Jacques Prévert for the cinema. This I will show you the second page. Okay. So this scenario are large planks, plenty of small drawing. I can do that with the micro. These planks were very large, and plenty of small drawing and annotation. The objective for me was to present in all their majesty this document and this incredible drawing, and choose a format as large as possible to try to make the facsimile as close as possible to what they are. I found that it was important to see everything, all annotation, etc. And I could not go up to the original size because the drawings are too big. But I managed to nevertheless make a fairly large book. And I design a black box that slides to leave room for an untitled book. That is covered with one of the illustrated scenario, and my BA was to let the picture speak. I put on the box all the information, the title, and in the back cover a text, etc. And I leave the cover of the book totally free of all information. The third and the last project I would like to present you in this topic of the archiving. Is a book we made for Textuel too. It's about another poet, Apollinaire, this time. This book presents unpublished manuscript of the poet, letter, calligrams, and Apollinaire, at his time, has many friends in the artistic field, like Matisse, Picasso, Sonia Delaunay, etc. So, when we start working on this project, we asked question ourselves about artistic side in his work and his influences, and we would like to with this book to speak about this side of his work, the artistic side of his work, not only his writing. And so we worked on the book itself and on all its specificity to show this artistic side. We work on the spine with a jaspa jaune, a paper, an offset paper, and we use print squinting in a very bright blue print with the print squinted method. I don't know if it's sorry for my English. And after, I would like to present some of our research, because I think it could be interesting for you too. And we decided to concentrate on letter and writing, and especially with the letter of his name to work. And we're not trying to create new form, in fact, for this project. So we choose a rounded and very simple typography, the brown. And we began to triturate, to print, to cut out, to make stencil with. And so you can see some experience. And for the anecdote, after making a lot of research, etc., around the name, and we found a collage of Matisse very, very close of our research, so we were proud about this. And but we discovered it very late. So, so you can see few pages of the interior. Okay. So, I will speak of another topics, a very important topics at the present time for the studio, the photographs, and photo booking is for me how to show photo in a book. What is a photo book, and what is the process? And as previously I show you a sample of the different book I made in this topic, and I brought some of them. This one is no, I will speak of it later, but so I will start with a book I made with Clément Chéroux, ex-curator of Centre Pompidou, ex-curator of photography of Centre Pompidou, and now senior curator of photography, San Francisco Museum of Modern Art. We won a prize too with this book, the Philave d'Or in 2016, last year. The objective of this book is to demonstrate the roots of the avant-garde in photography. And the cover presents 3 vignettes, or picture vignette, you understand vignette, I think, that correspond to each part of the book. So I would like to show at a first look the complexity and the structure and the richness of the contents. So it's why I made that choice to put 3 photos on the cover. So I will show you a few interior page. And you can see that the layout will change and evolve through the book, because in respect to the different types of image shown. So to be clear, I will explain you the context. There is the first part about recreation photographic recreation. It's an amateur practice. It was at the end of the 19th century. And it is there were manuals with experience that were explained, and you can see the results of a project of amateur. And Clément Chéroux decided to present that experiences, and I present you the source with I work with, the cover of this manual. I think it's interesting, and all this proposition of experience. We can see recipes for montage or photographic games. Do you see particular point or deformation, etc.? It was very funny to see all that experience. And so the first part is dedicated to this amateur experiences, and the part 2 is about the diffusion of these experiences. I will speak about postcard, newspaper, etc. That this support, popular support, when I speak of postcard, etc., highlight these experimental and playful images. And the part 3 is dedicated to the work of the avant-garde themselves, and who were the precursors of the fine art photography. And they made these research works and artistic proposals in an experiment current. So, and I'll let you see. And the format of the book was chosen to evoke in a larger but rather obotetic format the manual. And the to finish with this book, I would like to speak about the typography because I think it could interest you tonight. And I decided to play with the typography like they play with the image. In fact, it's so simple, but it was very funny. So I transform later, I distort, I stretch, and so this visual analogy, it was for me a graphic proposition interesting to speak about this avant-garde and this funny experience. Second project, second part in this part, because Harry Griad is a photographer I work with since 3 years now. We already made 3 books together, and I will speak about the last 2 of them. So the first one is a catalogue we made for an exhibition at the Maison Européenne de la Photographie 2 years ago. So what it is a photo book? For me, the role of the graphic designer of a photo book is to increase sensitivity through the format, the paper, the color, and the typography, and of course the editing of the image. For me, Harry Griad, no, I forget to say it's a photographer from Magnum Photo. It's important to say to them. And for me, Harry is a colorist. He's a photographer of intimate, of the instant, and of sensuality and ephemera. So I think this first image tell you all that stuff. So it's for me this picture is very representative of his work, and I will try to explain, because perhaps it could be interesting for you, my method, my way of work with photographer in general, and so my first task is to creating the dramaturgy, and therefore the photo selection. I have the chance to do the editing of each photo book I make. And I am delivered a content, and I propose a storytelling. I submit this to the publisher and to the photographer, and when we go forward and work it out together. So it's why I show you tonight this layout like that, and to see the choice I can do sometimes to put face to face some photograph, or sometimes to leave some alone, and apart no, I will let you see the photo. For an image like that, for example, it was evident for me that I have to leave it alone on the page, and in contrary, these 2 photos, face to face, increase them together because they are face to face. So I think it's not it's easy to understand, but it is my first work on the photo books. And after, apart the format, many things are expressed on the cover of photo books. The cover will set the tone and will identify a photographer. And very specifically, the choice for this project is very important because the choice of the red color was a very difficult choice to do. And even the Harry and the editor were a little bit skeptic with my choice. But I convinced them that because Harry is a colorist and because the color is very important, that it could be a very good idea to put that information on the cover and to put a very bright color on the cover without having fear to be too strong par rapport à la photo. And vous comprenez, c'est petit emmerdé. The background would not crush its image. In fact, try the opposite. And in fact, this book has been reissued 3 times, so it has been a great success. So I think it was not perhaps a bad idea to do that. And I will just speak about this last project. This book has not been released yet, so it's an exclusivity for you tonight because I bring with me the only copy we have. So and I just will show you the cover and explain in few words my project. But the subject of the book is to show 2 countries at the same period. It is about the 18. It is just before the fall of the Berlin Wall. And it's about 2 countries that which are totally opposite. Their universe in terms of color, in terms of life, and in terms of landscape are very in opposition. So it's why I decided to split the content in 2 books and to put these 2 books in a box. And I worked on the idea of the wind roses, the compass, and I chose to orient a letter of each title, so east and west, in the concerned direction, so west to the west and east to the east. And it's no, I explained. Sorry. But I would like that the 2 books. I would like by this way to make in relation the 2 books together, and I would like that they enter in dialogue, and this typographic play helped me to do that. Okay, and so you can have a look after. Sorry. And the last photographer I would like to present you tonight is Bernard Plossu. It's a famous photographer, mostly news for his black and white work. But he's called the most American of French photographers because he spent a lot of time in America. And the book Western Colors was published for the Rencontre d'Arles last year. And the book emerged us into the American beatniks of the 60s. and presents the rural facet of the American West Coast. We are not to use to seeing this kind of West Coast images. Precisely, Bernard Plossu used a special developing process, and I will show you some photos with, without the layout, but he used a special process which is called tirage fresson. And this tirage gives a very artistic render to the image with a strong grain. No, it's very, very plastic. As for Ari, I show you some example of the layout. I made the editing too with Bernard, and I can show you some of the pages. And to highlight this picture, I choose a paper for the cover. I'm very interested about the cover of the book. So for the cover, I choose a paper, Quiet Roots. I would like to speak about a kind of craft. So it is a very expensive paper, in fact, but it looks a little roots, and I thought that it was interesting to for the dialogue with the cover photo, which expose boots, cowboy boots, etc. And voilà. Voilà. I think I will stop here for Plossu. Non, j'ai plus rien à dire sur Plossu. No, I would like because I see the time, and I'm a little bit anxious because it's well, okay. The last project of photography is a project about another form of photography. I speak about vernacular photography, and I made this book with Sebastian Lifshitz. Perhaps you know this man is a filmmaker. He won the Queer Palm last year in Cannes, and he's also passionate of photography, and it's a big collector. It's a big collector, and he has a very important collection of homosexual and transsexual community from the 1880s to now, to the present day. And he decided to make a book of it. And it was very interesting to work with a filmmaker, because we worked together to sequence this book. And as for a movie, we worked end on the editing. And we choose a portrait format for the cover as a frame image. And for me, this cover says a lot. It is a portrait of a man who is artificially makeup by coloring a black and white image. And we speak directly of transformation for the first glance. And the dark red of the cover paper reinforces the theatrical side of this subject. So. Still, I will go very, very quick for Still. Still I will speak about one project, one video project. I made a book about a video artist. It was another challenge after performing art, and to show video in a book. It's a sort of challenge, because video is image and time. So Le Bal, Le Bal is a place dedicated to contemporary photography in Paris. So offer me the possibility to work on an exhibition catalog of Mark Levis, a Canadian video artist. And Mark Levis' images are very, very slow. The movement of traveling or the camera does not move at all, and the subject moves across the image. I choose to honor the very subtle and photographic manner to work on the idea of the flick book. So you can see over there, I think it's important to manipulate the book because it's more evident. I choose 10 videos of the exhibition and extract stills of each, of key moment. And I decided to animate image by turning pages. So you can see an example of one video I present, and I would like to explain also that you can see the 10 video I choose, and it is only one double page of each. But you can see that I represent the musical dimension of this video by the idea of a musical score. So I put the video. On a sort of invisible timeline, and sometime on top, sometime on the bottom, and in the center, to evoke a sort of musicality. Okay. And you can see on the spin also this sort of timeline and this music. I don't know if I have time to continue. 2 minutes. No, I will. I don't know. How can I do that? Because I have to. Je continue un petit peu. Okay. So because there is a review, and after a part with about signage, but bon. So I will speak about this the review, the crieur. 2 years ago, the journal online Mediapart and the edition La Découverte called me and offered me the MOOC project. And what is a MOOC? A MOOC is a magazine and a book. So the purpose of this journal is to investigate the field of ID and culture. And we want to create with the crieur an object with a literary consonant that aims to hold the reader attention and does not necessarily need to animate the pages with a multitude of information. You can see the last issue, the 7. And for this reason, and also for a question of a budget and a quality, and also to differentiate our production to the others, so simply, we decided to propose something visually radical. We don't illustrate articles by photos, but rather by illustration. And the place of typography become very important too in this project. And we propose one photographic moment, specifically in the review, a portfolio, and we invited photographers to have who have a work with a social and political dimension to expose their work. So I will speak very quickly of the typography. We choose the GATA. With this project, I work with a freelance, Corentin Perichot, who made an internship with Yokoland, and he worked with Yorel Kaila, and he showed me this beautiful typography, and we decided to use it for the crieur because it is a narrow photography. It's ideal for the lettering of a review. This typography is also a very good readability from a distance and a very homogeneous typography gray. For the little history, this typography was made for the Oslo town and used for the signage of the town. And to go quick, but I would like to show you the evolution and the work of the illustration inside the review. And basically, we worked on the figure of the crieur that you can find on the cover. And step by step, we begin to liberate ourselves of this figure, and we begin to be more and more literally with the subject we illustrate, but perhaps more free too. No, and for each issue we have a range of 3 dominant colors, and that we play with, and which bring a very specific graphic identity to the review. So okay, 7, okay, and the last one, exhibiting. So I will speak about our 3 last exhibition. The first one took place at the Musée des Arts Déco. So, sorry. We have already done 6 exhibitions in this museum. So it's the name of this project is Tenue correcte exigée quand le vêtement fait scandale. So it's about the scandal and the outrage produced in public opinion by an act contrary to morality and customs. We have many expressions in France to speak about bad taste and fashion, such as fashion faux pas, t'es mal fagoté, t'es habillé comme un sac, things like that. So the curator of the exhibition made a list of all these expressions, and we choose to develop a graphic universe relating different transgressive posture of fashion by choosing expressive graphic design where words occupy a special place. So the handwriting typography seems to be a visual translation appropriate to the noise caused by these scandals. And it's why we decided to do an all over in the entrance and to work on step, to animate the entrance, and also you can see the different research, but we decided to title directly on the windows too, in order to do that the word jump to the eyes of the viewer. You understand? We wrote everything by hand, and especially Raphaël Piquet wrote all that that sentence. And we scanned it, and it was a very, very big job and very difficult, but it was necessary to give to this exhibition a feel both alive and agitated. Well, the catalog, I show you a few pages, but I don't have time to develop. And the catalog is, but I don't bring it tonight, but is like a big fashion journal, a flexible catalog, etc. So the second exhibition is this exhibition is still on display at the Philharmonie de Paris until August, I think. It's about Jamaica and its culture, from the roots of the reggae to the dance hall. The architect, encore heureux, that made a wooden scenography and inspired by the rustic wall of wooden speaker you can find in Jamaica sound system, and they design all their furniture on this base. Oh, je sais pas comment dire. Ouais, vous comprenez. We choose for the signage to accompany this principle by working on text and title panels in wood, placed on top of each other against the wall. We wanted to give a sensation of signage to be that of a tinkering installation. You understand tinkering? And not necessarily perennial. And we can show the different panel. And we attempted to let the visitor feel that they are being immersed in a street of Kingston. We use the color of Jamaica and reggae culture: red, yellow, green, black. Okay. And the signage support is very important. That the graphism on it. This is what also interests me in this in a book object. This deep alliance of substance and form. We choose the technique of the screen printing to have a very bright color and use the rather artisanal technique with all its imperfection. We generate a rustic and homemade feeling. And so you can see some title and stuff, all that stuff in wood. Okay. And we arrived to the last project. It is the last exhibition we made. It is at the Fondation Cartier, and it's called Autophoto. I worked with the editor Xavier Barral for the catalogue. You can see him. See it over there. And and for the scenography is made with it is Constance Guisset who make the scenography. The purpose of this exhibition is to explore how cars have shaped our landscapes and redefined man's relationship to space and time, as well as influence the vision of a large number of artists. We made a mutual choice for the catalogue and for the exhibition to use a very specified typography. That of the English highways, the new transport. You can see a specimen of it. This typography was created by Margaret Calvert and Jacques Kinnear in the 60s. It was a request of the British government because at the time, the sign, the typography of the highway, etc., were confusing. The typography combines capitals and lower breaks, and to great readability, which was tested at different reading distance, etc. This system became a model for the modern world signs. And after learning all this, we wanted to work with it and ask the Fondation Cartier to buy it. It was quite expensive, but and I will show you some picture of the of the montage of the exhibition with our screen printer, œil de lynx, and we decided for our signage to be confined to this choice of typography. We didn't add other things. We worked on a typography and on a color for this typography, and we for the color we fabric a specific color for the exhibition, a night blue metallic that we use in the on the spine of the scenography panel, etc. And I show you few pictures. So it's a panel of silver, dark blue, and white, and it's very pure. And for the book, we try to play on the cover with the notion of autobody by work using autobody, the carrosserie. We say ça, is it? Carrosserie, the body, of course. And we choose an iridescent green paper that echoed the colors of the William Eggleston picture. And inside we play with different paper, dark blue, silver, etc. And to evoke the question of the notion of negative photo or ferrotype, and to be in relation with the history of photography. And to finish, I would like to say that the opportunity to work in the same project on the catalog, but also on the scenography with a close team like we made was very interesting, because both were porous, and the overall coherence of the project is truly perceptible and sensitive. Sorry, I stopped to show the slide. Thank you very much. The marathon.
Well, thank you very much, Agnès. You did it in, I won't say.
Sorry.
All right, now it's time for questions in the audience. Anybody wants to start? I have one. To kick it off. The word balance came a few times during your presentation.
Yes.
Is that something that you try to achieve every time you tackle a project? Some sort of balance between meaning, substance, form?
Yes, of course. It's what I explained in my introduction. It's I think I don't work on a photo book or on object. I work on project, on process, on project in progress, and on live projects. So it's why my work is constantly to balance and to counterbalance different substance, and to make legible things qui ne le sont pas forcément, you know. It's always.
It comes from your background in dance and choreography,
yes.
maybe.
I have to precise that I was not a choreographer.
Okay.
I was an assistant of choreographer, of 3 choreographers, But yes, after applied art studies in the École Normale of Cachan, I resigned my studies, and you can saw an old friend from l'École Normale. I resigned, and I decided to go into studies in the performing art field. And I met a lot of people in this field, and I began like that, and it gives a color, I think, to my work.
Anybody wants to ask a question to Agnès?
So I invited you to see the book. Yes. I brought with me.
Any question? No one have question for yes?
Yes, there's one here.
No, not at all. But thank you for your speech. I would like to question you about the place of analogy in your creation. You've spoken several times for the book Avant-Garde. You see the distortion of the letters in confrontation with the practice of the photographers. I'd like to just you to explain a little more. It's just for you, or you think also the public, the reader will see it, will understand it. You see, if you think it's just a creative process, or it could also.
I think it's a little bit in this project. It's literal. So I play with letter like they play with photo, and I do experiment, and it's. I think it's literally in this project. It's and I hope so that the it's clear, but perhaps it isn't. But I don't know. But I try to do that and to be legible, to help the viewer, the lector, the reader to understand the content of the book, but with this sensitivity at the first look, to have emotion that is connected to the subject, the project, but I use the tool I have. So, for example, in this project, I don't want to make a graphic object in addition. It's not the point. It is not my place. But I thought that it was possible to play with the letter. I have to title the part, the entry. So why to do not to play with letter and title like that to give a funny tone.
So you're hoping an encounter with the reader, in fact.
Yes.
And that's it.
Thank you. you had the answer before.
Anybody else has a question? There's a question in the back over there. Agnès, did you ever have to refuse a project? Did you ever say no because of political, ethical reasons?
With the Français des Jeux one time.
You said no to that?
I say no to that.
Oh, you're done? Okay.
And not really, because no. If I refuse a project, it's more for a question of time. Okay. In fact.
Hello. Hello. I have a really quick. I don't know if it's a quick question, but it's a question. You talked a lot. Can you hear me?
We can.
Can everyone hear me? Okay. You talked a lot about teamwork and the fact that you are as good as the team that you have around you. And so I was just wondering, how do you go about selecting your team? And at what point in the creative process do you bring them in? Is it like, do they come in the beginning? It depends.
Yes, it's a good question, because it depends of the project. We répartis. we distribute the project in the studio, and some for example, the photo books project, I do them alone. But for the signage project, we are 2 or 3 on the project, because it's very chronophage. It takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. We have to be to come to the montage.
But do you bring them very early in the process?
Yes, very early, and I spoke about Raphaël Piquet. We worked together since 2007. Without her, I never will do what I do. So, and it's the same for Perrine, who just joined us. It's this the person I choose, and I don't know really how I choose, but the person who arrive and start to work with me and are essential for me, for us.
Is it always the same people, or is it like you have a group of people, a group of talent that you pull from, or is it always the same?
But Raphaël Piquet is always at the studio. But for example, for the Crieur, I work with Corentin Perichot, who is a graphic designer and an illustrator. So, for the Reporters Sans Frontières, the other review, I work with Tom Boucher, who is a review designer. You know, I select him because he has an experience in design of a review that I didn't have. So,
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jean-François, do you have time for one more question? No, I just want to ask if we have one more question before we take a break for a few minutes. If we don't,
okay. Cut the live stream.
Say
goodbye.
We say goodbye.
For the live stream.
We say goodbye for the live stream. So people out there in the world, Type in Paris says good night.
Thank you. Thank you too.
So now we have time to have the beer and everything on the back.